Hello everyone. This is the third video of Azure AI Fundamentals training course. In the previous one, we discussed about custom vision. In this video, we'll be discussing about Azure AI Language Service, the text analytics feature of Azure AI Language Service. Also, we'll discuss about Azure AI Translator Service. The idea of this lesson is inspired from the AI-102 course I attended to pass the certification. I'll provide the link to the above said course in the description box below. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Azure AI Language is a service used for natural language processing. There are three features present in AI language. One is text analytics, analyzing text and giving information about the text. Next, there is conversational language understanding or CLU. So, as the name suggests, it is for building conversational applications. Then there is question answering, used in the case of chatbot. We upload documents and frequently asked questions and train the model and can deploy the model. And this model can be used as a customer assistant. So, if a customer asks a question, the model can go to its database, find the answer to that question and reply to the customer. So that is the question answering feature of Azure AI Language. And in this session, we'll be seeing the text analytics feature. CLU and question answering will be discussed in the later sessions. So text analytics is analyzing text. It will provide named entity recognition, personal identifiable information detection. It can detect language of the text, sentiment analysis, extract key phrase from the input text, entity linking and summarization. Now let us go straight into the Azure portal and see each of this. Now there is a portal called Azure AI Language Studio. So all the features we discussed earlier, extracting information from text, conversational language understanding model, translate text, all are available in the Azure AI Language Studio. But in this demo, we'll be using Azure AI Studio. They're told here, try new features in Azure AI Studio. And they're promoting all the AI services to Azure AI Studio, or currently known as Azure AI Foundry. So Azure AI Foundry is a one-point stop for all Azure AI services. So for a change, let us do this demo in AI Foundry. To create a Foundry resource, click on Azure AI Foundry, create. Now we can either create a project or a hub. So a hub can host multiple projects. So here I'll be going with hub. I have already a resource group created, which we used for the previous demo. I'll be using the same one here. Then you can name the resource. So I'll name it my hub and provide a random number. Now this will be the default project resource group. The next is storage. So while creating a hub, it will default create a storage account and key vault. So now storage account is the default data store for this hub. And key vault is used to store secrets and other sensitive information that is needed for AI hub. So while creating a hub, a storage account and key vault is created by default. Now everything, I'll go with the default settings. Now I'll review and create the resource. Now create. The deployment is complete and we can go to the resource. From this resource, we can launch Azure AI Foundry. This is how the Azure AI Foundry portal looks like. Now we have our hub which we created. Here you can see all the hubs and project. If you click on our hub, you can see all the details. And here we can create a new project. I will go with the suggested name and create the project. Once the project is created, you can find the API key here, the project string here, location, and all other details. Now, there are many options present on the left panel, including model catalog, agents, fine-tuning, template, etc. We'll be discussing in detail Azure AI Foundry in the generative AI session. For this demo, we'll straight go into AI services. So here in this Azure AI services, you can see speech, language translator, vision and document, content safety. Now we are going to see language and translator. From here, we can go to the language playground. We have selected the resource and we'll click open playground. This is the language playground. Here you can see all the features offered by language service. And we can also see it as category wise. So there is extract information, summarize information, and there is classify text. So these are all the features of text analytics. So first we can see extract information. And in extract information, first one is extract health information. So it will extract and label relevant health information from unstructured text. So it can identify health details like name of the medicine, dosage, etc. from the input text. Now let us try this out. Here I'll be using an inbuilt sample. I'll be using short prescription. If you want, you can use your own text. Now here there is a short prescription and I'll run the model. So it has detected the health information from the input text. So 100 mg of ibuprofen, it had identified 100 mg is dosage and the confidence score is 99%. Now it has identified ibuprofen is a medication name with a confidence score of 100%. Now there is 3 mg of potassium. So 3 mg is dosage and potassium is a medication name. So likewise, it can identify health information from an input text. Again, this is the API which we are calling this API of the language service. This preview will be the latest one, but it is in the preview stage. So we are using this API, which is the default one. You can select text language here. The input text is in English. You can use any other language. Only 6 languages are supported. So you can choose any language, give the text here, run the model and get the output. Since I don't know any of these other languages, I'll select English and we have got the output. Now next is extract key phrases. So it is to identify the most important points in a piece of text. That is what is extracting key phrases. Now we can use an inbuilt sample. So we can use email. Now here the input text is an email and we have to extract the important phrases from this email. We can run the model and here we can see all the key phrases extracted. And on the right you can see all the extracted key phrases, which is Hollywood Boulevard, 15 minutes, food, dinner, experience, etc. So if you read these key phrases, you will get an overall idea of the input text. Now next is extract named entities. It will identify different entities in text and categorize them into predefined types. So it will identify different entities like people, places, organization, and quantities from the input text. That is named entity recognition. Again, we will use an inbuilt example. I'll choose travel. So this is the input text and let us run it. And here it has extracted the named entities. It has recognized wife is a person type. So the entity type is wife and the confidence score is 99%. Then again, Los Angeles, it has identified it as a city with 100% confidence. And first is an ordinal and the confidence score. August is date. Then there is a location, address, and so on and so forth. So this is what is entity recognition. And one thing to note is that all of these entities are pre-built entities present in the model. If you want, you can train a model to identify custom entities. So custom entities will be the term specific to your use case or to your business. Now you can train the model and later on the model will be able to identify those terms as custom entities. Now these are the pre-built entities present in the model, which is city, ordinal, date, location, address, etc. That is what is named entity recognition. Again, you can see the output in JSON. Here the first entity recognized is wife. It is a person type. And you can see the location where it is present. Offset is 3 and the length is 4 along with the confidence score. Now you can see all the entities identified. Now next is extracting personal identifiable information from conversation and also from text. Now we can go with text. So here I'll provide my own input. Now this is the input I'm giving. We can run. So it has identified all the personal information from the input text. So it has identified Joe is a person with 100% confidence. Then this is a driver's license number. Actually, I have already told it is my phone number, but maybe I gave a random number and it's a very short number. It has only 6 digits. Maybe it is because of that it identified as a driver's license, but actually it's my phone number. But anyway, the next is address. Address where I reside is this one. So it has identified it correctly with a confidence score of 99%. The next is my email ID and it has identified it with a confidence score of 80%. So now this is how we extract PII from input text. Now next is summarizing information. So we can summarize conversation, summarize for call center calls, summarize text. All these three can be done. Now we'll summarize a text. We'll select an inbuilt sample document text. So you can go through this text if you want. Now I'll run the model. It is taking some time because the input text was big. Now I have got the summary here on the right side. I think this is kind of correct. Overall, it's kind of correct. By the way, you can give your own input text. The next feature is classified text. Here you can analyze sentiment and detect language. So now analyze sentiment is detecting whether the input text is positive, negative or neutral, and it is used for opinion mining. So you can select your inbuilt sample, but here I'm giving some input text. I have copied some hotel reviews. I'll paste it here. Awesome location, great staff, best room cleaning service I have encountered. Now I will run it and the result is, it says the sentence is positive with 100% of confidence. Now I'll provide another input. The cafe staff has no idea how to make an Irish coffee. Again, another review of a hotel. Now I will run the sample. Okay, it says like negative with 79% of confidence. And with 21% confidence, it is saying it's neutral. So that is what a sentiment analysis is. We can use for social media posts, comments, hotel reviews, etc. Now next is detect language. Now either you can select any of these samples. I'll use this as input and run the model. And yes, it is able to identify the input language. It says the language is Hindi with a confidence score of 99%, and that is really good. So yeah, that's a very strong model. Now, if you know any other languages, you can try with it. So now that is what is text analytics is. You can extract information, health information, key phrases, named entity recognition, PII detection. Now there is summarize information where you can summarize a big chunk of text. And there is sentiment analysis and language detection. So these are all available in the text analytics feature of Azure AI Language Service. Now we have seen all these: entity recognition, PII, language detection, sentiment analysis, key phrase extraction, summarization. Now next service I want to discuss is Azure AI Translator. So again, it is to translate text from one language to another, and it supports 100+ languages. It can auto detect the input language, and the use case is to translate documents and books. So AI Translator is used for text to text translation. Let us see Translator in action. Again, we are back to our Azure AI Foundry portal, and here in language and translation you can see translation here. Then there is document translation and text translation. Document translation is for translating documents. You can use file types like docs, PPT, Excel, SX, TXT, HTML, etc. Then there is text translation. We'll be going with text translation. Now there are some inbuilt samples, but we will try with our own data. The source language, I will select auto detect. Let's see if the model is able to identify the source language. Now I have to translate it to English. Yes, I'm copying this text from my local file, and let us see whether the model is able to identify which language is the input text and whether it is able to translate it into English. Now I will click translate. So now it has translated. So this is the translated text. Artificial intelligence is used to refer to the intelligence of machines as well as the branch of computer science aimed at making it a reality. So yes, it is the correct translation. So the input language I used is Malayalam and the translation is correct. So you can use any other input text or any other input language and try out this translation feature. Again, here you can see the resource key. Now here, if you click view code, you'll get a Python code snippet. So you can run this code in your local machine and call the API and get the same output. You have to replace the resource key with your resource key and all other variables present in the code. And you can call the translator service and get the output. So once you are done with experimenting language services and translation, you can delete the project and AI hub. Now back to the slides. We have seen Azure AI Translator service demo. To deepen the understanding on NLP, let us do some knowledge test. So I have provided 5 scenarios here and you have to select the appropriate feature of text analytics that can be used in each of these scenarios. Now you can pause the video, go through each scenario and figure out the correct answer. Keep in mind all the demos and what all we have discussed regarding the text analytics feature of Azure AI Language. Pause the video, come up with the answer and continue watching the video. Now, which is used to extract date, location and quantities from text. So we have seen to extract entities like date, location, quantity, place, organization, etc. We will use entity recognition or named entity recognition. Now next scenario, you have insurance claim reports that are stored as text. You need to extract key terms from the reports to generate summaries. So the requirement is to extract key terms from the report. For that, we will use key phrase extraction. Now identify which documents provide similar information. So we have to categorize the documents based on the information. The documents with same information should be categorized in the same group. For that, we need all the key phrases present in the document so that we can compare those key phrases between the documents and figure out which documents are of the same category. So we have to use key phrase extraction. Now identifying the reviews of a hotel, whether it is positive or negative, we have to use sentiment analysis. Now evaluate social media posts to identify positive and negative comments. So that is an opinion mining scenario and we have to use sentiment analysis so that we can identify whether the review is positive, negative or neutral. Natural language processing text analysis can be used too. There is a blank and we have to fill up the blank and we have to select the correct answer that correctly completes the sentence. Pause the video, have a look at the option, choose the correct option and continue watching the video. Now here, text analysis can be used to classify email messages as work related or personal. So how can we do that? We can extract the key phrases present in the email and from these key phrases, we can understand whether it is work related or personal. So the correct answer is option C. Now analyzing video content is by video analysis feature of computer vision. So if you haven't watched computer vision video, I highly recommend you to watch that. Then generate speech is the speech service of Azure AI, which will be coming in the following sessions. Then classify images, again computer vision. So the correct answer is option C. Now, your company operates a global e-commerce website that collects customer reviews in English. To improve user experience, you want to automatically present these reviews in the local language of each user based on their geographical location. Which type of natural language processing workload should you use to achieve this? The question is saying the customer reviews is in English and we have to convert those reviews in local language of each user. So which service should we use? So we have to use the translation service of NLP because that is what is translate text from one language to another language. Now we know key phrase extraction, speech recognition we'll be discussing in the speech service. Then there is language modeling. Here the correct answer is option D, translation. You have a solution that reads manuscripts in different languages and categorizes them based on topic. Which NLP workload does the solution use? Now pause the video, figure out the correct answer and then continue watching the video. So here the correct answer is option C. So first we have to notice the keyword different languages. And again, manuscript is a text. So to translate text into different languages, we have to use the translation service. And again, we have to categorize them based on the topic. So we have to extract the key phrase and then only we can categorize them based on the topic. So the correct answer is option C, translation and key phrase extraction. Now, what did we learn from this video? We learned about the text analytics feature of Azure AI Language. We also saw the demo in Azure AI Foundry portal. We also discussed about Azure AI Translator service, which is used to translate multiple languages. In the next video, we'll be discussing about conversational language understanding. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next.